Hi, this is Lorraine Ball.
And Jennifer Denny.
And I know we've just met, but I really want to stay in touch. So I'm going to send you an email every single day for a week.
Please don't do that.
The idea of email automation is a follow up to a conversation, a proposal, any interaction is good to a point, right?
Yeah. I think email automation can be a lifesaver and a lot of conversations that it's going to be repeated over and over. You need to say the same thing to a potential client or even a current client that hey, let's just automate that email comes out at a certain time, and that's going to be a huge time saver.
And there are a lot of tools that can do this, and we're not really going to talk about which tools you should use because everybody's got their favorite for different reasons. What I really want to focus on, and what I know Jen feels the same way because we talked about this before, is tips on how to create good email marketing automation and the oh my god, don't do that on the other side. So let's talk about some of the good things that you can do or should do as you're creating an email marketing automation campaign.
So I think the first thing is just to think through. I think, people get carried away pretty quickly on automations. And so you need to think through, like, what are the automations that I need to definitely do, and how often are those going to happen, so that if I think about other automations, I'm not, sending out too many communications. So I just want to give an example. Like, let's say that you create an automation after somebody has just downloaded a particular item, and
Mhm.
you want to create this series of emails that people are going to get. But then you happen to want to put them into your newsletter or something. You got to think about all those if this then that.
Mhm. Absolutely. And what this means is that on the back end side, as you're creating lists, you need to make sure people don't end up on too many lists. You have to decide, when do I move someone from this list to this list? Where does that campaign pick up? Because otherwise you're absolutely going to get into that situation where I'm getting 2 and 3 emails from you.
Yeah, audience segmentation.
Ah,
It's a good thing you made it to this point where your email list is that big that you can actually segment. It's just thinking through that so that you don't have too much of that going on.
you want to think about, the way I like to think about it is, if you didn't have email, if after this interaction you had to pick up a telephone and call me, or you had to send me a personal email, how often would you do that? And at what point do you think it's going to feel a little bit
Annoying.
annoying or overwhelming? Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing, I think that you need to be very careful as you're setting up your email campaign, that it is absolutely evergreen. Because I'm going to get your email in January, but you're going to get the email in March, and someone else is going to get it in July. And so, no references to Christmas, no references to spring's just around the corner. You've got to make sure, and also no references to hot trends unless you are prepared to routinely go back in and update that email.
Automation. Yep.
I
That
mean,
that can go wrong real quickly.
it's okay to have a hot trend and to demonstrate your expertise, but it's more work on the automation side.
Yeah. I also think that, you when you're building out automations, you're very excited about your product or your service. And I think you have to take yourself out of your shoes and put yourself in their shoes and think about okay, how excited are they going to be? They might not know that much, but you know, and so it's going to take longer, and you need to expand out your automation time wise. I mean, we already kind of hit on it, but nobody has time every 7 days or every 3 days to completely divulge everything that you want to send to them about your product or service. Nobody has time for that.
And they don't really care.
No.
And the other thing that I love about a good automation campaign
Yeah.
is that you don't have to tell the whole story all at once. Yes, I want you to see my samples. Yes, I want you to know that I know about the latest trends. I want you to read testimonials. I want you to attend a webinar. But do not send me information about all of those things in every email. Make each email different. This week, just talk about your webinar. This week, just talk about your testimonials.
That is the point of an automation series, that getting too much at one time is too much for somebody to absorb. And so breaking it up into different series, that is, again, layering with what you said, the evergreen aspect.
Mhm.
This is the sales cycle and the buying decision that somebody would make. Yeah.
The the thing that is amazing about an automation campaign is you can use it after an initial sales conversation. You can use it after you send a proposal. You can use it after someone downloads, or even you just met them at a networking event. You just can't use the same automation for all of them.
Yes. And another one, automated, like, abandoned cart. So that's another one, typical
Oh, yeah,
e-commerce. Yeah.
absolutely.
But you have to meet somebody with where they are at, and so there has to be a good flow of how does somebody get into that list, and this is somewhat technology stuff.
Mhm.
How do they get into that list on your website, and then how does that integrate with the email platform that you've chosen? Those 2 systems have to be able to regularly talk to each other.
Absolutely. And you have to have a safety mechanism so somebody doesn't get added to the same list multiple times. And if they do, the system has to be smart enough, whatever you're using has to be smart enough to say, no, they've already gotten this. Yeah, they downloaded something else, but we're not going to torture them with the same 5 emails again, because that just doesn't work. Um, the other thing that I really think people need, oh, well, one that we forgot is appointment reminders. And
Mhm.
this can go really bad really fast. My doctor, my I get an email, I get a text message, I get another email, I get a 1 week time period, I might get 5 communications. Yes, it's wonderful that you can do SMS and emails. Don't do all of them, and let people tell you how they want to receive the information.
I think they do that in a lot, in essence, because they're trying to avoid a no call, no show.
Mhm.
I'll tell you, a better deterrent is charge me for the fact that I no called, no showed, rather than sending me 5 communications. You're gonna get more out of that than you will that.
Absolutely. My stylist still charges me for my haircut if I miss appointments, so I don't miss appointments.
Right. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but that also brings up the fact that a good automation campaign has some perhaps online and offline integration.
Oh, you're going where I was going. I just had a client recently where they have a lot of processes that happen offline, and they wanted to get into email marketing automations, which I think was fabulous, but there wasn't quite the integration where it was going to have to be a very manual thing.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, we can do this, but it's going to take a lot of manual effort to make sure that we are crossing our T's and dotting our I's so that we're not annoying people.
Absolutely. But when it works well, and I'll give you my favorite example, I would send a sales proposal and I had a series of 4 emails that would follow. And about once a week, I would be in the habit of, okay, I need to do a call follow up. Well, if I had a lot of proposals, I had to pick and choose who I would call and follow up with.
Yeah.
I would go and look at the emails and go, well, who opened them? Oh, they've opened 3. They're ready for a
Yeah.
phone call.
There you go.
And it made me a more efficient salesperson. And it made those phone conversations way more productive because I knew how much that prospect already knew.
Yep. 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 You knew where they were at in the process of buying. And so that's a good mixture of using an automated but an offline like approach to know when. Yeah, I love that. Because you can't automate all conversations with people. As much as we're loving this AI world, if you automate too much, you're gonna alienate your clients.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, yes, we've retreated into our little cubicles in our houses and the world has changed since COVID. But at the end of the day, people still want that human interaction and they want it on their terms. They want it when they are ready, but they want to have the opportunity for that. And I think you need to build that into your automated system.
People buy from people or people buy from brands.
Mhm.
And that's the bottom line.
Absolutely. So if you're curious as to how this email marketing automation could work for you, book some office hours. If you're looking for someone to walk you through and do the heavy lifting, Jen's team at Elevated Marketing Solutions is absolutely the right team to do that work. And if you're looking for a little guidance on do it yourself, well, that's where I come in.
And there you go. All right, take care.
See you guys.